There are moments you don't see coming, moments that pass quietly and you only notice their weight much later. I didn't understand that for most of my life. I thought time was endless. I thought there would always be another chance. I thought there would always be another chance. I'm 105 years old and I don't have those chances anymore. I want to tell you something before it's too late. Something I learned the hard way. When I was young, I believed life was about doing what was expected. Going to work, raising a family, keeping appearances. I was careful. I followed the rules. I kept my mouth shut when I should have spoken. I thought that was wisdom. Now I know it was fear. I remember one afternoon decades ago sitting in the kitchen with my first wife. The sun came through the window and lit up the table. We had nothing special planned, just a quiet moment together. I wanted to tell her how much I loved her, how grateful I was for her patience and for the life we built. I didn't. I said nothing. Instead, I talked about the weather, about errands, about things that did not matter. I told myself I would tell her tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. That day haunts me still. Not because she left me, but because I didn't give her the words I carried. The small, simple words that would have mattered more than anything else. If you're watching this in your 30s or 40s, listen carefully. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It may not come. The silence you hold on to today may be the regret you carry for decades. I remember another time. I was at my father's house. He was old then, older than I am now. I wanted to ask him about his life, the choices he made, the things he wished he had done differently. I thought I had plenty of time. I didn't. He passed before I found the courage. That was when I first understood the cost of waiting. It is quiet. It doesn't yell. It just leaves an emptiness you can't fill with words later. Still, I need you to hear this gently. You still have time. Not endless time, but enough to speak, to notice, to act on what matters before it slips away. That was my life for decades. Waiting, holding back, thinking I had all the time in the world. It was an illusion. I want you to see that now, before you reach an age like mine. After I turned 70, I began noticing how small choices accumulate. Not the big, dramatic decisions, the small, quiet ones, the ones where I didn't speak up, the ones where I said yes when I wanted to say no, the ones where I said yes when I wanted to say no, the ones where I watched life pass by without asking for what I truly wanted. I remember a morning with my daughter. She was young then. I was tired from work. She wanted to talk about school, friends, her worries. I nodded. I smiled. I told her everything was fine. I didn't really listen. I was preoccupied. I thought there would be more mornings like this. I thought I would have time to hear her fully later. I didn't. Time moved faster than I realized. Those conversations, small as they seemed, shaped the distance that grew over years. I didn't see it at first, not until she was grown, busy with her own life, and I had fewer chances to reach her in the same way. I remember another memory, my first grandchild. I was holding her, and I wanted to say something important, something that would stay with her. I wanted to tell her about love, about courage, about seeing the small beauty in life. I said nothing. I was afraid it wouldn't come out right, and now I wish I had just spoken. The lesson came slowly. It isn't flashy. It isn't dramatic. It is quiet, steady, and painful in its simplicity. Every day you wait to say something important is a day that can't be recovered. Not all words, not all moments, but some. Some are gone forever. If you're watching this in your 30s or 40s, that is why I'm telling you this now. Don't wait to speak. Don't wait to notice. Don't wait to be present. I still find myself holding back sometimes. Old habits never fully leave, but I try. I try to speak what matters, even if it is small, even if it is imperfect. You still have time. Time to say one thing. Time to notice one person. Time to act before regret comes quietly, as it did for me. I sit by the window most evenings now. I watch the light fade. I think about all the words I held inside, and all the ones I still might speak if I choose to. As I grew older, I noticed how much of life slips by while we wait for the perfect moment. I spent decades thinking there would always be another chance, another morning, another conversation, another opportunity to say what mattered. It wasn't true. I remember sitting alone one winter afternoon. The house was silent. The fire in the hearth flickered. I held a letter I never sent, a letter to my wife written long ago, full of things I wanted to say. I never sent it. I never read it aloud. I never had the courage to let her hear those words. Holding it now, decades later, I feel the weight of every unsaid word, not as anger, not as regret that blames anyone else, but as a quiet sorrow that comes from knowing what could have been different. That sorrow teaches more than any lesson I ever learned when I was younger. I want you to understand this gently. If there is someone you care about, don't wait to speak. If there is a feeling you need to share, don't wait for the right moment. The right moment is often now, and it may never come again. I still find small ways to speak. To friends, to family, sometimes into the quiet of this room. Even late in life, a single word can soften what silence has built. Even late you can choose to notice, to say, to act. You still have time. Not endless, not guaranteed, but enough if you pay attention and choose to use it. I'm 105 years old, and that is why I'm telling you this now. Not as a warning shouted, not as advice forced upon you, just as truth. Speak your words. Notice the people who matter before it's too late. I don't share this to tell you what to do. I share it because I waited too long, because the words I held back are still with me, even now. Life is quiet, and time moves faster than we imagine. Moments to speak, to notice, to be present, they don't come again. I wish I had known that sooner. If you're watching this, take a breath and consider the people around you. Say the things that matter, even if they feel small, even if your voice shakes. I waited, and now I understand. Words matter. Attention matters. Presence matters. Don't make the same mistake I did. Before it's too late, speak. Before it's too late, notice. Before it's too late, choose to be honest with the people you love.